LeBron James has, quote, finally, the article says, spoken out about what happened at the U.S. Capitol on Wednesday. Finally spoken out, meaning the world was waiting for LeBron James to weigh in, and he took almost a whole day before he weighed in. So thank goodness that the man stepped up and gave us his opinion, which is, of course, he said we live in, quote, two Americas, and he spelled America with 3 Ks, KKK. I wonder what that means. And James posted a picture of himself on Instagram with a shirt that read in all caps, "Do you understand now?" I know the answer to that. You still don't, cause no matter what happens, you still won't be judged. Look at crazy, chained, beaten, hung, shot to death because of the color of your skin. 2 Americas, as I mentioned, spelled with KKK, we live in, and it was at full capacity, live, in direct yesterday in our nation's capital, at the Capitol. Hashtag, I pray for better days for my people. End of quote. I guess since black people, from my knowledge, weren't killed, 5 people died. I don't know the identity of 4 of them, but one of them is or 2 of them, I guess. One of them is a white male cop. The other one is a female Air Force vet. They're both white. So the other 3, I have no idea what the race of the other 3 is. I doubt that LeBron James knows either. So it probably isn't that. I guess it's this theme that Joe Biden and others started yesterday, which is, you know, Joe Biden said, I got a phone call from or text or whatever it was from my granddaughter, and she said, "Pop!" And I know what all of you were thinking. Same thing I was thinking. She doesn't call him corn pop. She said, "Pop!" I was just looking at this on TV. This insurrection. This siege of Leningrad. It was like D-Day, only bad guys. And I said to myself, if they were black, how would those protesters and rioters have been treated? They would have been treated very differently. They would have been slaughtered. They would have been mowed down. It would have been as if Uday and Yusei had put him feet first in wood chippers. It would have been horrible. And Joe Scarborough said the same thing. I'm looking at this thing and I said to myself, that's a good thing those protesters weren't black, because I'll tell you what, they would have been horse-tied. It was a Joy Reid who said they would have been assaulted, chained, and dead had they been black. Now, to finish the thought from yesterday, I'm watching this thing and I'm looking at this horrific scene of how these people breach the Capitol building, hoping nobody gets hurt, hoping the officers are able to maintain order, hoping there's no destruction of valuable, artifacts and things like that in that building. How this looks but from terrorists, they're saying how easy it is to breach. That's what I'm thinking about. It never occurred to me to go, you know what, Larry? I wonder what would have happened had these people been largely black people. I guess I had other things on my mind, but if you want to play that game, let's play that game. Holding in my baby brown libertarian fingers, article from the Wall Street Journal, April 27, 2016, headline, "This study found race matters in police shootings, but the results may surprise you." And the article, very detailed. I urge you to go get it yourself. We have it up on LarryElder.com. And it goes through a very thorough analysis of how studies, analyses, research back to the 70s show the police more hesitant, more reluctant to pull the trigger on black suspects than on white suspects. Washington State, over a series of years, 3 studies, all of which reached the same conclusion. Officers were 3 times more hesitant to pull the trigger against a black suspect than a white suspect. So, you want to play this game about what would have happened had the protesters been black? The likelihood is they would have pulled back even more and the building would have been trashed more. It's called the Ferguson effect. Heard about it? Officers afraid of being called racist pull back. Bad guys know that. They get more aggressive. It happened in Chicago. It happened in St. Louis, right outside Ferguson. It happened in Baltimore. So if you want to play that game, the likelihood is the police would have been even more restrained, even more reluctant to show any kind of force. You really want to play that game? And somebody even said, this is what happens when white privilege is, when toxic white privilege is not restrained. Meaning what? You want to talk about who commits crime in the country compared to their percentage of the population? You really want to play that game? Whites, at 61% of the population, commit proportionally less homicide. Blacks at 13% commit almost half. You want to play that game? I'm Larry Elder.